Between commuters heading to work and tourists admiring the skyscrapers, Midtown Manhattan has some of the most crowded sidewalks in New York City. If only there was an easier way to get around.
Do you know where 6th and a Half Avenue is?
Six what?
6th and a Half.
I don't think there is one.
Never heard of it.
I'm not sure, no.
I never heard of it.
Yes, we know what you're thinking.
Makes me think of Harry Potter.
All you've got to do is walk straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10.
But this is no platform 9 3/4 myth. There really is a 6th and a Half Avenue. And it's called a POPs, that is, a privately owned public space. These POPs started back in the 1960s, when city planners and private developers came together to find a way to build bigger and better buildings, while giving the city places for the public to use and enjoy.
The idea that you have buildings actually building private spaces for the public to use is unique to New York City. And I think it almost has to be, because New York itself is a pretty unique city in that you have so much crammed into such a small space and so many people that making use of every bit of usable space is so important.
Chris Consalvo of Manhattan Community Board District 6 knows a lot about POPs. You might even call him a POPs expert.
I think POPs connoisseur might be a better term, because I've tried them all.
Consalvo, along with several interns, published a report grading his district's 77 POPs just this summer. The report documents if each POPs has followed city planning regulations regarding numbers of benches and plantings, as well as an observational component where the researchers describe what they liked and didn't like about the spaces.
When it comes to these spaces, you need to be observational, because if you're a person just looking to eat their lunch, you really don't particularly care about how many feet of linear seating are in the space. You care about, hey, can I sit here? Am I going to enjoy myself? Is there sunlight? Am I able to easily access the space?
With POPs in 3 of the 5 boroughs, they go from Manhattan to Brooklyn to Queens. 6th and a Half Avenue is just one of 520 POPs in New York City. 6th and a Half Avenue is a mega POPs. This pedestrian arcade includes 6 POPs total. It's the only half avenue in town, and it runs from 51st Street to 57th Street. Brian Nesson, a New York architect, proposed the project because he felt like there were several problems as he walked through the series of disjointed POPs.
They were just individual spaces, so there was no kind of overall identity. You'd have to walk around trucks parked in front of the entrance. You'd have to jaywalk across the street, and it was just a kind of a haphazard feeling series of spaces. So I thought that it could be improved.
Although the 6 individual POPs existed, the idea of 6th and a Half Avenue wasn't coined until Nesson proposed it to the Department of Transportation 5 years ago. With the help of community board members and city planners, Nesson was able to convince the City of New York to add signage and crosswalks to what is now known as 6th and a Half Avenue.
I think it helped people understand that that they could take that route and get somewhere. New Yorkers are always in a rush, and it offers a way to get from one point to another point more directly.
This is really very convenient for us to get to the different places we want to go. Perfect to get up to Central Park, or if we want to get on the subway to go downtown.
You know, they're kind of unique New York spaces that it's okay that not everybody knows about. I'm glad they're not bringing up the tour buses and unloading people to have a box lunch here in this place.
But not if Nesson has anything to say about it.
I mean, before it was sort of something for people in the know. It was like a well-kept secret. And now it's sort of like the secret is out.